this insane Trump-Zelensky press conference in the Oval Office. Zelensky getting into a fight with Vice President Vance, President Trump stepping in. They're saying, Zelensky, you weren't grateful. You have never said thank you properly to America. Just a big kerfluffle. And I think we're trying to get a few more people here for some different reactions. But yeah, Alex, so how do we see this playing out? Let's assume Zelensky's correct, that the media do take his side and they talk, they'll say Trump disgraced America with his bad diplomatic protocol or whatever. How do you see that shaping out with the American public?
Yeah, this might be one where they might see the writing on the wall that they can't do that this time, because you cannot come into our Oval Office, one of the hallowed grounds on American soil, and to be so spoiled. He just comes off as a spoiled baby. Trump was trying to be gracious, trying to help him. And I feel like it is going to be a big, it's something that Zelensky certainly calculated. He would have the people in the room, the press who were there, they would have his back. But for him to come out and to suggest that Trump has been anything short of trying to broker a peace that provides a best case scenario for Ukraine is just inaccurate. And he needed to turn that page. He needed to move on. And he wants to go relitigate that Putin did invade his territory. That's true. But again, that is not the focal point right now. The focal point now is not how this started. It's how we bring it to a peace before things get worse. It's noteworthy that the average age of the Ukrainian troops now is into the mid-40s. They're mid-40s. It wasn't how it was at the beginning of the war. They've lost hundreds of thousands of people. Russia, I think, has lost 1 million people. It's time to end this thing for the good of humanity. And anyone who is not prepared to do that is just going to be, it is not going to be welcome in the eyes of Trump, who wants this thing cleaned up so he can go back to focusing on his agenda. And Vance jumping in there and defending our honor as a country after Zelensky wasted so much of our money. And he went against Trump, despite how Trump was helpful to him when Trump was president. And Zelensky knew it. Zelensky didn't hate Trump before. I don't think he hates him now. It's one of these things where Vance was defending our honor, and then Zelensky gets emotional about it like a baby. Unbelievable stuff. And I just don't know how the media spins it. But they'll try. They will try.
And I suppose the $100 billion question is, what is the impact of this on the actual war? Does this somehow bring us closer to peace? I don't know. Why don't you give us your thoughts, Alex, on that part of it? Are we closer to peace or farther away?
Yeah, Blake, one thing that's really interesting here that I was thinking about is that there's been a lot of back and forth about whether or not Ukraine has all these rare earths. And the EU says that they've got all these rare earths. They've got a lot of them. They've got like 5% of the world's rare earths. And there's been a lot of dispute about that. Russian media says they don't have as much. And, I don't tend to trust Russian media at face value, but it's an interesting possibility that maybe Russia was right and the EU was wrong. Again, all else being equal, I tend to trust the EU more than Russia, but who trusts the EU that much? Maybe there's something going on, that maybe there aren't as many of these minerals that we thought we were going to get when we were brokering this peace. And maybe that was part of the underlying thing. Maybe that's why Zelensky was freaking out, is that could have been exposed. So that's another thing, because the deal was not signed. So apparently Zelensky's left the White House, been kicked out of the White House now, so he's on his way home. And if there's no deal signed yet, then what was this all about?
We kicked him out. Wow. Truly unbelievable. This is forget the most viral part of this Trump presidency. This feels like a top 5 crazy moment in the entire Trump era.
It's up there.
Andrew, Andrew's telling me he's ready to go. Are you there, Andrew? Andrew Colvett? He's not ready. All right. No. Well, so yeah, top 5 moment in the Trump era. How are you feeling, Alex?
Yeah, this is really exciting. This is what we live for in the news business. And I love to see America defended by, it's a double whammy for me because America First guy. I love to see Vance and Trump defend America. And I just like the clarity with the way both of them spoke. Zelensky, he's at a disadvantage because it's our home soil and he doesn't speak the language naturally. But Vance and Trump defending our honor was great to see. I think it's a historic moment for both of those men. And I think the country will ultimately be grateful for that display.
It's a new mode of diplomacy. It's the most transparent diplomacy we'll ever see.